producer Isabella Wells sat down with Maureen Fan, the CEO and co-founder of Baobab Studios. A leader in virtual reality and interactive storytelling, Maureen gave us her perspective on the innovative ventures of Baobab Studios. Take a listen.
So you've always had this passion for animation. You were taking animation classes alongside when you had a full-time job before you broke into the industry. But what made you want to incorporate VR into animation and make it an interactive experience?
Well, VR, the reason I love animation is because you feel like it's completely real. This completely imaginary world that's only limited by the director and the crew's creativity. And it feels so real that you think you could reach out and touch it. And that's also basically the definition of VR, right? Because you actually feel you're there, you actually think everything is real. So we thought it was perfect to merge the two together. But also on the business side, it made sense because I wasn't going to go up against Disney or Pixar unless I had ridiculous amounts of capital or unfair distribution advantage. But VR as technological disruption made it so that no one had an advantage. And so I knew I can go in there, make a name for our studio, create IP, and then from there branch out.
And as you said, it's still a developing field and perhaps slightly niche. There's the issues of accessibility and some have the physical discomfort. But do you see VR being mainstream in the future in TV and film?
I do, but I think it's going to take about a decade, which is probably longer than most people will probably say. It's funny because when we went out for venture capital funding, a lot of people were saying, VR is already here. And we took a different tactic. We said it was going to take a really long time. And this was our plan to be alive and be strategically, creating things during that entire period. I think the form factor definitely has to get better, but I think there's a long way to go in terms of the creative content. I think learning how to direct the viewer's eyes, how to create experiences that are native to VR, I don't think anyone has really cracked that yet. And so I'm looking forward to the experimentation.
That's interesting. Looking forward to seeing how that develops. And this industry is a quite male-dominated industry. But do you think being an Asian American woman has allowed you to bring unique perspectives to your work?
I don't really think consciously about how it's unique other than for our experiences. We've in particular casted women and minorities for our pieces. So Crow the Legend was Oprah, John Legend, Diego Luna. We had Ty Sheridan, but we had and Constance Wu as well. And then for our recent Baba Yaga, that was Jennifer Hudson, Daisy Ridley, Kate Winslet, and also Glenn Close. So we purposely cast that, and part of it is conscious because I'm thinking if I don't, then who will? So I'm hoping that there's more voices, diverse voices, different types of stories that can continue being told.
And Baobab Studios has produced animations like you mentioned earlier, the Slavic-inspired Baba Yaga and Namu, directed by Korean filmmaker Eric Oh. How important is it for you to bring stories from different cultures to an international audience?
Well, it's exciting because if you mine stories always from the same place, you run out of. But every story is somewhat the same, that you're reorganizing in a few different ways. But it's inspiring when you can have something completely new that's different culturally to bring to the world market. So it's very exciting and important to us.
And a question about Taiwan. It is a powerhouse in the tech space. Do you think there's something that it can offer the animation, something unique that it can offer the animation industry?
I feel animation in particular because it's such a visual medium that even culturally, the way you're writing in Chinese is pictorial. So I actually think Asian cultures are especially perfect and tuned for doing animation, but Taiwan in particular, because just thinking about CG and all the animation studios here, the quality of animation coming out of here is just amazing, and also the technological know-how, especially with all the new innovation with AI and whatnot. I'm really excited about Taiwan being a leader in that area. Also, just like we have actually created experiences with Taiwan. So we worked with a studio called Lyra VR with Dylan, he's the CEO there, to create a VR game. And that just won the Emmy last year.
Amazing.
And they were creating amazing things. So I'm excited to continue working with Taiwan and Taika and all the studios out here.
Can't wait to track what you guys do.
Thank you.
Maureen Fan, thank you so much for speaking with us today.
Thank you.